We are going to continue our class-based React journey, and today we are going to complete the class-based React. And the next 2 days we are going to do the hook-based React, and that is the plan. So let's get started. And again, I will give the attendance towards the end, maybe a bit earlier than the end. So I'll give the attendance at that time. Please fill the attendance and please get the participation form. And as I have told earlier, some of the people will also be getting access, might get access to my front end weekend full-time boot camp, which is going to start next month, Jan 15. It is going to start. Some people are going to get that, but they are going to get that only if they complete the assignment. So I will send separate mail to those people. I've already given the things on earlier. I have given told on day one what is the criteria for that. The person should have completed the CSS beginners or JavaScript beginners to advanced course, then only they are eligible. And what I'm thinking from next month, see, every month I do these things. So from next month onwards, I will have this contest every month, and these people who are really committed, they can get my bootcamp free of cost, which cost $10,000 so every month. And most of the time, every month I start a new bootcamp because it's a 1.5 month long bootcamp. But you can know more about it later on. Miss, the link is there in the description. It will be there about that bootcamp. You can check it out. So that happens every month on every month, maybe on 15th. So it will happen. So there are weekend bootcamp. There are weekend bootcamp are on Saturdays, Sundays. So same thing is there on different timings. So weekend boot, everything is live on my channel. Means everything is live through Zoom. Weekend bootcamps are on Saturdays, Sundays, and I run a special boot camp for working professional, that is on evening boot camp, which is daily at 10 p.m. IST, because a lot of people are there who are working and who want to change to web app development, and they are working like hell. They are working from morning 9 to evening 9, and that also Monday to Saturday. So they cannot even attend my weekend boot camp. So there are a lot of people I have to taught like that, who are working professional and want to shift to development, web app development. So for them, this weekend, this evening boot camp is also there. And this evening boot camp, actually I'm going to start one from the next week. So because some people have approached me and they are going to join it from the next week, I am going to, I was already taking an evening boot camp, so that is completed. And the next one will start from 27th of December. So I'm telling it earlier. Maybe I will actually also tell it on my LinkedIn and all the posts and all those things. But you are there, I will tell it again. So complete boot camps will start, that evening boot camp, 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. IST. And if you're working professional, you can join it, and the charges are like same only. Okay, so let's get started now with our React.js day 3. Let me share my screen now. And yes, we are going to learn this today, lifecycle methods. So lifecycle methods are very important thing in class-based component and also in a hook-based component. So if you don't know what is the lifecycle method in a class-based component, you can never know what's the lifecycle method in a hook-based system. Hook-based system, even it is much more complicated in a way, because there is only one single hook, use effect hook, which replaces everything. So you might get even more confused, but you should know what are class-based hook-based system. And let me tell one thing on the chat. Okay, attendance will be taken at the end. Attendance will be taken at the end. Okay, so again, it is going to my YouTube channel and my Twitch channel only. So if you are watching it on LinkedIn, please do come to my YouTube channel. You will find my YouTube channel link somewhere in my profile or somewhere, because I forgot to give it there. So you can come to my channel and watch it here. So it will be much better for me also, because the chat which I am doing, it is not going on LinkedIn. I don't know why it is not going on LinkedIn. So come here and watch it here, and please do like this video if you're watching it here. And I can see some people are watching it. Please do like this video so that it can reach to more people, and more people come to know about my channel and the initiatives which I'm taking to make people full web app developer in a 1 month long workshop. So every month this 1 month long workshop runs. CSS basics, JavaScript basics, React basics, and 1 week anything basic. Like previous time I have done Redux, this time I'll do Angular. Next time I am planning to do Node, and after that I'm planning to do Vue.js. Okay, so that is something I got, but so that is something which is always a cherry on the cake. So that is not the main thing. See, always it is like, to get a job you have to know HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and React. So first 3 weeks are the most important. Okay. Good evening. Okay. So we'll learn this life cycle method. So life cycle methods. Okay. So what are the different life cycle method phases? So one is this mounting phase. Okay, mounting phase is there. So mounting phase is that when the instance of a component is being created and inserted into DOM, the mounting phase will be running. We are going to learn about the mounting phase. Then we have an updating phase. So when the component is already rendered, as a result of change in either props or state, this is also something which you are going to learn. Unmounting is not something which I'm going to learn because it is not that much important. Unmounting, it is done when the unmounting is done. And error handling, hardly used. I have never used that. Okay, so there are some names of the lifecycle method. And we will definitely see it through an example, so it will be much more easier because I always show it through examples only. So the thing is there, mounting their constructor, get derived state from props, render, and component did mount. So these are the things which are there. Updating is get derived state from props, should component update, render, get snapshot error, and component did update. We're going to learn about all of them. That an unmounting component will unmount is there, and error handling, some things are there. Error handling also, two of these things are there, not that much important. Okay, so the first thing is that mounting lifecycle method is there. So in the mounting lifecycle methods, we have first a constructor, which we have always seen. The constructor is there, which is a special function which has been called whenever a new component is been created. This function has been called, and this is the perfect place to initialize or bind event handler, which we have already seen. We were doing this bind method and doing that, and never do an HTTP request and all those things. And we have a super props is also there, and can set state directly in this dot is only in the constructor and no other place. We have seen that also, and everywhere else we have used this dot set state. Okay, so that is the constructor. Then we have get derived state prompts. As it is written, this is a rarely used lifecycle method. We never use this thing, and we are not going to use it. It is used when the state component depends on the change in props over time, need to return a new state or a null, so that is required. Okay, and then render method we have always seen in a class-based component. It is a must method, it is the only required method. So you can omit the constructor also, but the render method you cannot omit. Okay, read props and state and changes the JSX. Don't change state or interact with the DOM or do HTTP request from the render. We should never do it. Okay, render runs a lot of time. Okay, child component lifecycle methods are also executed after render, so that is there. Then we have mounting methods like component data one. This is one of the most important method, and we're going to learn more about it once you go through this ReactJS journey. We're going to learn more about it. The method will be called only once. This will be called only once, and it is invoked after the component and its child components are rendered in the DOM. Okay, so it is only invoked at that time. Okay, and again this is like a constructor only, but it will be uh, we'll see the flow, how it is been flow. And this is the perfect place to do DOM request. When we are later on going to do the DOM request, which is on our DOM request, not HTTP request. When we are going to do that HTTP request, we are going to do it through component did mount. Okay, child lifecycle methods are executed after render. So we are going to look into this phase. We are going to look into this mounting lifecycle methods, and they run in this order: constructor, state, derive, static get derived state from props, then render, and then component did mount. So we are going to learn this through an example. So let us learn that example, and I'll come here, and here this is the old thing which we have, and I'm still using the. Today I will give this GitHub repo. Means today we are going to use this class based things. Okay, so parent life cycle.js, parent life cycle.js I'll do, and RCC is there, and export default parent life cycle I've done. Okay. We have to increase the font size a bit. That is much. It is also visible on the mobile side. Okay. So then after this, I will have a const. Okay, and name is parent life cycle. So the name is like this. Okay. then we'll have those methods. So these methods are something which we have not learned yet, but we'll give them after this constructor, and before this anyways not inside the render is also a lifecycle method. Okay, so I will come here, and here I will give static get derived derived state from props, get derived state from props, and actually it takes one more thing which is known as the state. It will take this, these are all different states. This is not the state which we have, like, okay. So with this I will have this console.log parent lifecycle method get declared state from props I will have, and I will have this return null. Okay, so as I've told that you have to return something. Okay, so that I've done, and then I will have component did mount I will have, and here also I will have this console log, because we're going to see the logic, how it is running, means what the order means. I have shown an order, does it really run in that order? So we are going to see that. Console.log parent life segment component did mount, we are going to put it here, and then in the render I'm going to have maybe h1 will be having a parent lifecycle, and here also I will have a console log also, and it will have a parent lifecycle render. It is a render because all these things we have. So all the methods did we have? Yeah, we have all the methods, and we have all these methods. Save it. Now we are going to include this parent lifecycle method instead of this demo form. I'm keeping all these things because I'm going to give this repo, and you can see this thing. Okay, parent lifecycle I have done, and now I'll do this, and let me comment it out, save it. Is it running? Oh, it is not running, so I have to do an npm start. Oh, great. Someone followed my WhatsApp clone video. Did you, were you able to complete it? TV Ki Dunia. I don't know what's your name, but that's great. You followed my WhatsApp clone video. Yeah, it is one of the, okay, something is already running on port 3000. I don't want to close it. So, okay. It's great that you completed it, and if you completed it, please show it in your portfolio site, or tell to the world in your LinkedIn, and LinkedIn also tag me so that I can, okay, tell that, okay, you have created this from my, and it will be good. Okay, those things you can include it, and this will, that will be a great project for you, buddy. That will be a great project. Let me congratulate him. uh, and those features, add those features and showcase to the world, add those features and showcase to the world. Okay, and even if you don't add those features, showcase to the world. See, LinkedIn is one of the main thing, I have told it a lot of time. LinkedIn and Twitter show that thing. So show a gif, record a video or something, and show it on the LinkedIn, show it to the world that you have created wonderful project. It's a very wonderful project, and it's very complicated. Okay, so do that, and you have learned it, and I don't give the code also so easily. So that you did it all in one, and I know there are some bugs because Firebase or something, the bugs are there because it was done a bit earlier, and everything changes. So you might have fixed those bugs also. I mean, small bugs are there. Okay, so a lot of people come to me that give me the code or solve the bugs, but that's up to you. That's how developer works. Okay, great work. Okay, parent life cycle I have done. So now if I go back here, so it will be shown, but the main thing is that I have to open the console. No, don't ask question here, we are doing something else. You cannot ask question here. Contact me some, no, please don't ask question here. I won't be able to answer it there anyways. That is not on the back of my mind, that I have done 6 months back. How more than that? So connect with me somewhere out, maybe on my LinkedIn or somewhere. Maybe I can help you out there. Connect me on the LinkedIn or leave a chat or somewhere. Connect me through LinkedIn. I'm most active there. Okay. So, okay, one more thing. Actually, I think I have forgot one console log here. So that console log will be here. So we have to have on all those things, this console log. So this is there, and let me refresh it. And this, see, as I've told, the first thing which is run is the constructor, then get derived state from props, then render, and at the end component did mount run. So in this order only it runs. See, it doesn't matter that I have given render at the end or not. So this is the flow in which React works, and this flow is very important. So it is, the flow is like this: constructor, get derived state from props, render, and component did mount. The most important thing is the component did mount always run after the render. After render is very important, because all the things are being shown in the whatever is there. This is something like a JavaScript code which we used to do. So like the JavaScript part is over, it is like the JavaScript part is over, and in the DOM you're showing something. So after that only the component did mount is running, and that's why it is the best place to do a API call. Okay, so that is there. Okay, so now what we are going to do, we are going to see how it will behave if I have a child lifecycle method also, which is been called from here. So let us do that. So for that I'll come here and I will do a child life cycle.js and rcc again, sport default child life cycle, and it will be again like same like which one, child life cycle, it will be there. And let me copy everything from here. Okay, because we're going to have everything same only. Here I'll come and this like this, and here also what I'm going to do here, instead of this parent life cycle, I'm going to do child life cycle, save it all, and child life cycle has been done at all the places. So this is again it has sort of same thing like a constructor, get derived from a component did mount, and the render is there. Of course, the render is there, so all those things are there. And now what we are going to do, we are going to call it from the parent. So here in the h1 I have come, and here I'll do child life cycle. Like here, child life cycle I have done from here, and it has been called. Let me save it and see. Now I'm going to again refresh it. So and now you'll see the flow. See, parent constructor has been done, then get derived state from here, then render. See, after that the component did not didn't run. Component did not only runs after all the components, including the child components, are also rendered. Okay, so after this parent lifecycle is rendered, then the child lifecycle constructor get derived state from render component did mount run after and it ran. So this is very important thing to keep in mind. So you should always do the API call at the, if you want the API call result at the lowest level, you should add if you do the API call as a child and you want it there, you have to do it there, not here, because it will run at the last. So some of these things you have to keep in mind. Okay, so the next thing which we are going to do is the updating lifecycle methods. So we have done till here. So updating lifecycle methods are a bit different. So updating lifecycle method occurs when the components are re-rendered either as a change in the props or in the change in the state. And we can forcefully also do this, and we will do it forcefully by changing the state. And when the state gets changed or the props, some props comes in it and changed props comes, what happens, not only that, some the child company has also been rendered. First thing is there, and the other thing is that a different set of lifecycle method runs. and those set are this: get derived state from props. Okay, this is the same thing which is there. Should component update is there. Okay, this is a different thing. Should component update, we'll learn about it. Render is there, same thing. So these two are same. This is different. Get a snapshot before update and component did update. So you might have seen that there are two methods which are missing, which is one is constructor and one is component did not. So they don't run in the updating lifecycle method, and this is a very important thing to know in React. They don't run in the updating lifecycle method. When we update, this is the second lifecycle methods, updating lifecycle method. Okay, it doesn't run there. So get derived state from nodes, we have already learned about it. Should component update is a very important method. It is used for performance optimization a lot in earlier React codes. So when we have class-based component, and if a React code is been rendered way too many times, it sometimes slows the project. In bigger projects, it slows a lot. So we were using this should component update a lot in production to understand whether it's a re-rendering or not, or the performance optimization and all those things we were doing it. So that was there. And then render, I have already told. And get a snapshot before update, again it's a rarely used lifecycle method, and this has been called just before the virtual DOM is reflected to DOM. Don't need to know much about it. And then we have component did update. This is a very important lifecycle method, and this is called after the render is finished in the re-render cycle. And you can again do the HTTP request from here also. Okay, so and component will unmark. Okay, so this is there. Okay, so let us do these things. So we actually have got three new lifecycle methods. Okay, one is the should component update, one is get snapshot before update, and one is component did update. Rest of them we already have. So we are going to add those new lifecycle methods here. So we will add it. So first thing is that should component update, then log parent dot should component, and you have to return something here. So I have to return true, or else it stops everything. So after that, it is there get snapshot before update is there, and here we generally pass the pay props and pay state. And again we have to do this, and we have to return null here. Okay, so and the last thing is component did update, component did update. But one thing is there, and component did update doesn't take anything. I don't know why it is turning. Okay, so that is there, but these methods won't run until the state is updated. So how do we update the state? We update the state by, we'll come on down here and have a button here, and we change state, and on click this, let us do the set state directly here. Instead of creating a function, we can directly do the set state here. Okay, set state. So what I'm doing here, so just I have set state as some name is there. Let me change the name. Okay, so just doing a set state like this, and then like name is the TWD. Let me do TWD. Okay, so just I'm changing the set state here, and change the state, the button I am clicking, and then the state will be changed. Okay, so what I'm going to do here next, I'm going to add this. So it is more than enough to change the state of the parent, and it will trigger the child component also, or if I had got 10 child component after this, that will trigger that also. So I will save it, and then I will come to here, and I will paste it here, and then I will again do control F, and replace all. So all child are also done. So let me come back and come back here, and I'll refresh it. So see, this time again the method has come which are like the render is a lifecycle methods, which are not this updating lifecycle methods. These are not updating lifecycle methods. So these are what? These are mounting lifecycle methods have run. But now I want to see the updating lifecycle methods. So how do I see it? First, let me remove this. I will change the state. Then the updating lifecycle methods will change the state. See here we don't have any constructor and all those things, and it is running like this. Okay, like this website. So if we go back, it is like parent get derived state from props run, then the should component update run. Okay, then the render runs, then the get derived state from props run from the child, then the child should component update run, child render runs, then get snapshot before update runs, and then again it goes back to the parent, and then it again goes back to the child. So this zigzag thing is done, and at the end, always at the end, component did update of the parent is run. So that is very important. Again, if you want to do some API call, again you have to keep that in mind. And one thing to keep that in mind is that we hardly use means only the most important things we use here is render. Anyways, you have to use it render, then component did update. In this only we use render and component did update. When we are going to do hooks, in hooks actually React team removed most of the lifecycle methods. Only they have kept this component did update and component did mount, and there is something known as component will unmount. It is run when the component is unmounted, and we are going to learn in it in your journey. So this is about the lifecycle methods, and the lifecycle methods are done. So one of the main topic of class-based component, and we are going to see it again in the functional component also. I'm going to show some example with the class-based, and then I'm going to change it to a functional. Okay, so that is there. So let's move to the next topic, which is like we are going to look into refs or references. We are going to look. Okay, so why are refs required? So refs are required because, see, as you are seeing in all the React code, we are using a different kind of code. When we were working with JavaScript or maybe with jQuery also earlier, we are directly interacting with the DOM. So when you interact with the DOM, you get a lot of access because JavaScript was created like that only to interact with the DOM. But React had taken a different approach. It is not interacting with the DOM. We have the render method and we have all the other things are there. But even with those things, means React doesn't have all the features of the DOM. So sometimes there are some features of the DOM which we require, which is not there in React, but we need to have them. So what we are going to do in those cases, we are going to use refs. So React team tells that we should use ref cases only if required, because React should not directly interact with the DOM. It decreases the performance. So sometimes it is okay to decrease the performance because some features are not available, and we'll see one of such feature we are going to see. So let me come here and I will do a refs refs demo .js is there. And okay, one more thing I have, yesterday gave the attendance form a bit late, so let me give it today now only. Okay, mark your attendance here. So all of you mark your attendance here. Okay, so that is there. If you're on LinkedIn, as I've told, please do come to the my YouTube channel and mark your attendance here. Okay, so that is there now. So I have this refs demo file, and cc refs demo is there. Let me include this now. Refs demo. So refs demo is done. So yeah. So suppose we have an input box. Input box is there and type text is there. If I save it, you see that input box is there. Okay, input box is there. So there is something known as focus. So what is focus? If I click here, see, this is focus, and sometimes this is a very good thing to come. Means by default, when the user go to any site, the cursor should come in. So that comes with the feature of the DOM known as a focus, which React doesn't have access to it. So we will access it through DOM to show it directly. So let us do that. So let us create a ref first. Okay, so ref we are going to create first. Ref we need to create in a constructor. So const is there, and here uh, the thing is that we don't have any state concept in refs, so actually it replaces the state concept only, and that's why the React team always tell not to use it. Means, so we are going to replace the state concept here, and we can use React without state if you are going to use refs also. So we do it like this dot ref input ref is React dot create ref. So this thing we have to do, and hooks, there are hooks also which are going to learn in hooks, and hooks is also quite similar to this. React dot create ref is there, and then I will have a component did mount. Inside this component did mount, I'm going to have it, but this ref we have to going to use it first. So I will come here and I'll do ref equal to this dot input ref. I have to do like this, and let me save it. Okay, saved it. Now we have to use it, means it is not like done. So if I do clg of this dot input ref, save it. So component did mount, so it will run only one time. As you know, component did mount also runs only one time after the component is in mount. Is constructor render and then it will run. So that is very important. We are going to do something here also. So if I come here, so this input ref, see I what if I go here, I'll get access to all these things here, all these things, all these different things which I see, even the inner HTML I'm getting as. So all these things I can access. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to not access all these things. What I'm going to do is this dot input ref dot current dot focus. So current, as you have seen, it is there. Current dot focus I have to do, and the focus, if I now, if I click it and if I refresh it, okay, what's happening? Okay, is it compiled? I think React changed something. So this input ref is not working. Actually, it should work like this. Current dot focus, it will work. Okay, so let me check one more thing whether this, I don't know, means might have, this might have changed. Okay. Okay, we'll check one more thing here. One sec. Might be this is removed. Okay, so I'm going to tell one more thing here. So what is there means, as I've we have gone through the control component, I have told that on change handler we have to do, and the state we have to change, and we will get the value of it in that way. Okay, so instead of that, what I'm going to do, and let me remove this thing altogether. I don't need this thing. Okay, and even I don't need this thing. I'm going to show a different example altogether. Okay, so this dot input ref is there. Hope this will work. Button is there, and click. So when I will click it, I want to get the value what the user have entered. Okay, what the user have entered. Okay, so that I want to get the value, and that is on click is equal to this dot maybe click handler. I'll do this dot click handler, and this click handler I have to do like click handler equal to an arrow function, because we have to do this, and I'm going to do this dot input ref dot current dot value. I want to see the value which the earlier you in that earlier example which I have told, this the control component we have to do the state and do the on change and all those things. So these things we don't have to do. If you're going to use refs, we don't have to do these things. Okay, so I will show this thing, and ref is input ref and everything. Okay, so here let me clear this thing. console. And first thing is that I'm able to write anything here. There I was not even able to write it. So Nabindu, and then click and see Nabindu is coming. So this is how easy it is. The same thing I have changed it like that, means same thing which we are doing through the state and on change. We don't need all those things. Okay, so that is done. Then okay, so now what we are going to learn, we are going to learn about the context API. So context API is very important, and a lot of people use it instead of Redux. So in React, the problem is that the state management is a very big problem in React. So local state is okay, but sometimes what happens, you have to pass by state management. I think I'm telling that sometimes you have to pass data from one component to another, and we use props for that. But with props, there comes a problem of props drilling, and for that there are two three solutions are there. One is context API, which is quite new, and the older solution is Redux, which is still used in bigger project. In that, what happened, the all the data you maintain at a central location, from there different component uses it, but we are not going to see it here. And if you want to learn more about Redux, the previous month I have done one whole week of Redux. You can go through those videos. Okay, go through those videos. But what is the issue of prop drilling? So let me tell the issue of prop drilling first, then we will learn about context API. So the prop drilling, the issue is there. So see, the issue is like this. Okay, and we bring this there. Okay, so there is a component, app component, and I have a component C. So suppose I want to pass some data from here till here. Component A and B doesn't need it. Only component A, the main component, app component, need to pass it to C. But the it is done like that. It have to means app component have a children component A. Component A have a children component B, and component B have a children component C. So it have to unnecessarily pass through this two component, which we should not pass it through this two component. And here I'm showing only two component, but what if there are 100 components are there? What if some zigzag type of structure is there, means tree type of structure is there? It is very difficult. And this problem we solve it through Redux or through context API. So how we solve it through context API? Because through props, it is we can do it through props, but it is generally very difficult to do it through props, and that prop drilling thing is there. So that's why we can't use context and all. Okay, so nowadays people do this all. I run a software development company also, but I don't do coding anymore in that level. So my developers are there. I have two developers. Okay, so we're creating a project for a startup. I generally do most of management there. So the developer was telling me that it is a quite big project, that he is using context API instead of Redux, and I am quite happy with that. So whatever you can do, you can do. So that's a quite huge project, and that he has managed to do with context API, not with Redux, and that's a very commendable thing. Okay, so context API, you can do a lot of things. Okay, so that is there. So let us learn about context API. And so in the components, I'll come here, and here I'll have a maybe a child.js I'll have, and a child component first. Support default child, and we have h2 here, child component. Like this I have, save it. Then after this child, I will have a parent.js, parent here. So here what I'm going to do, here I'm going to call the child. We're going to see the same type of thing only. Okay, so here I'm going to call the child, save it. So parent is calling the child. Okay, and then we'll have a grandparent also. No, grandparent will call the parent itself is a grandparent. So how so it will call the parent. So then logic is like the grandparent is calling the parent and parent is calling the child and child is finally displaying something. Okay, so that is there. And now our app will contain the, but of course the grandparent. App will contain the grandparent. And is it imported? Yeah, it is imported. Save it. And let me do one thing. Let me move it at the top so that it is much easier to see. Actually, a lot of comments have come in, but it's okay. I want this comment to be there. So grandparent is there at the top, and if I come back, so here the child component will be shown. Okay, child component will be shown. Close it. Okay, child component will be shown. So suppose I want to pass some data from here to the child component, then I have to pass through here and here. If I'm going the props route, but I don't want to do it like that. I want to pass from here, from the app directly to the child component. So how we'll do that? I will do it through the context API. So context comes with something known as a provider and a consumer. Okay, so provider and a consumer. So sometime we can create a context here also, which I'm going to show in the hooks thing, which I'm going to show how we are going to use. But we can create a context in a different file also, and we are going to create a context here in a different file. So context API is there in hook based systems also. Okay, so user context dot JS I'll do, and here the logic will be like different mr importing map from React const user context equal to React dot create context. Okay, create context is there. This is how we create a context, and const user provider. So we have a provider thing and we have a consumer thing. Okay, so it is like user context dot provider. So through provider we pass some value, and through consumer we consume that value. So this is the main concept of a context. This state context. Okay, user consumer is like this, and we're going to export both of these things. Export and not export different class. We are going to export actually the user provider and user consumer. We are going to export. So these two things we are going to export. So now we are going to use it. Okay, so how we are going to use it? We are going to use it like whenever we are using it, we have to wrap the component with the user provider. So we'll do that. I will come here and do a user provider. User provider is imported, and this grandparent will now go inside it. We have to wrap the grandparent in this, and we have to pass some value. So just like in props we pass the value, here we will pass it. But one thing to keep in mind is this value thing which I am writing it here. It's a keyword. You cannot do it like name, age, anything else. It's a keyword, but you can pass anything. Although it's keyword, you can pass anything. Like Nabindu, I'm passing. So I'm passing Nabindu, and then I can catch it from anywhere: grandparent, parent, child, or a component 100 level deep. Also, I can catch it. So I have to go to the child and use the consumer to consume it, provider to provide it, and consumer to consume it. That's the main concept. Okay, so I'll go here and I will consume it. So consuming is a bit different here. So I'm going to go to the return, and here the first thing is that I have to wrap everything with a let me remove this thing. So this I will remove first because it's a bit complicated syntax, and we're going to I'm going to show an alternative way also. So user consumer is there, user consumer is there. I will import the user consumer, and I have to wrap everything with that. Okay, and then what will happen? I have to do this is a render prop pattern, very complicated pattern, and we are going to see a thing in which we don't have to use this. So I will do a user, and this is not a keyword. I can use anything here. Means it is not necessary to use the value thing. Anyways, we cannot use value. So it is not like props. So I can use anything here. Okay, so user I will use, then like this, and then I will do a return. So I have to do a return because I have to I have to show that h1 also, okay, so which was there earlier. So suppose I have to show that child component, and the the data which I passed I will show in the h3, and I will show it as hello user. Hello user, save it, go back here. Hello Nabendu is coming, so this is the main thing. Hello Nabendu is coming. This user thing I can take anything, so this is how I pass data from here to here. But you can see this is a very complicated pattern. The consumer the provider pattern never changes. The consumer pattern is very complicated, and if you pass one more thing it will get even more complicated. This complication thing I will show it in the hook based also. Hook based also it is like same only. So this is a very complicated syntax. How we will going to make it but bit more easier. So we're going to do that. For that, first thing is that export default user context. I have to do export default user context. I have to do save it, and then suppose I'm going to use it in the parent. Okay, I'm going to use it in the parent, and then import user context from user context. Okay, from user context to user context, because I'm directly doing a default export now. And now we are going to use a different way which I have told. So here, but one problem here is that all of these things are keyword actually. So static context type, it is context type, everything is keyword. A static context type equal to user context, everything is keyword. A static is keyword, context type is keyword, user context is keyword, this is also keyword. But what I can do here now means suppose I want to use that name thing. Okay, so name thing I want to use, and h1 parent welcomes this dot context. Again everything is a bit of keyword, but this is much more easier than that. We don't have to wrap it with everything. Just with this dot context I can use it and save it, and see parents welcome. This is how it has been used. So this is the easier way to do it. Easier way to consume it. This is one way, and this is the another way, and the provider way is only like this. Okay, so these are the two ways. Okay, so now we are going to look into the last topic of a class-based component, which is doing an API call. And API calls are very important when we work in a project. The API calls are the most important thing, because that is the something which, as a front-end engineer, you have to do the API call. The back-end engineer will build everything, means the backend and all, and they will going to provide you an API, and you have to do the API call to get there. Okay, so that is there. And again, as always, we are going to use a very good service, and that is known as Json Placeholder. Most of you might know this. Post endpoint I'm going to go, and post endpoint I'm going to go, it will give me an array of objects. So this is not showing in the right way. It will give me something like this, array of objects. And this is the endpoint which someone has built on the internet. So like this endpoints, the your developer, when you're going to work in a company, the developer will also provide like this endpoint, and you have to hit that endpoint and get it. This is not a normal website. This is an API endpoint built with complicated technologies like Node.js or Java. Node.js, this is not a React.js code, this is a Node.js code. I know that they have built it with Node.js. So like those languages are used to create this API endpoint, and this all the data generally stored in some database and all. So that is a different thing, and we are not here to become a backend developer. We are here to become a front-end developer. So that is where the most of the jobs are. The backend developer is going to give you the backend APIs. So that is there. So now we are going to do the API call, and API calls, doing API call with React or JavaScript is very easy, because nowadays we have this fetch API, Axios, and all those things we have. So we are going to use the fetch API because that is inbuilt. We don't have to install some external packages and all. So let me come here, and let me again comment this all out, and we'll come here, and I will do a post list.js. and again it will be RCC export default post list. I'm going to do save it back here, post list. I'm going to do save it. The post lists have come. Now we are going to do our API call, and how to do an API call. Most important, this is actually the most important lesson, because that is something which most front-end engineers do in their life. So I'll have a post. Okay, and why I have a state of post with a empty array? Why I have this? So most of the time you should have it like whatever is coming back. So this is also this is the array of object is coming back. Post here also we have something known as post, and which is an array of objects. So we want to get this data, so that's why I made the state as post as the array, so that we can get the data. So again now let me have a let me have h1 list of posts, just like that right now. And now we have to do a component did mount. So that's why I was telling component did mount is so important. Component did mount is there, okay, here. And we are going to use the async await format. So when we are going to use the async await format, I have to make this component did mount async. I will do async component did mount, and then const url equal to that JSON placeholder thing post I am going to do. Okay, so fetch API I think I have already told once. So fetch API is again with JavaScript also it is the same, with React also it is the same. Okay, so const response equal to await fetch.url. It is a two-part thing, so it always requires a second part also. And const post equal to await response.json. So we have to do two-part thing, await response.json we do. And I will do a clg of post. Let us see whether it is working or not. Okay, so let us see that, and let me go here. And post is not defined. Okay, what is post? Okay, it should be posts actually. It should be plural, it should not be singular. Okay, so that is there. And inspect, because we are getting a list of, and we are getting a list of 100 posts. As you can see, the array of objects, same array of object which we have here, we are getting the same thing. So this is 90% of the work done. So now we just have to display it. So if you come here, your 90% of the work of the front end engineer is already done. So this is what most front end engineer do. This is the most important code for front end engineer doing the API calls, which the back end engineers give them. It's something known like component did mount. So it is not some rocket science or something. It is very easy, but people don't understand it. And this is the mostly hype fetching job on the planet right now. Means most number of jobs are here only for ReactJS developer. Nowhere else is there. So instead of console logging it, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to do a set state, and the post array, I'm getting this post, I will add it to there. Means this dot set state post is post. So why I'm doing the post is post? So this post is this one right hand side one, and this post is this state one. And I'm going to do a shortcut, because when you're going to work in production you're going to get shortcut. I took it as post for a reason. I could do this shortcut. I can do this shortcut like this. Yeah, it's exactly same thing, don't get confused. Okay, so like this I've done. So now I have to show it. So again I'm going to use some shortcut. So I could have done like const post equal to, because this I want to make something, this dot state dot post, I can do like this. But again I'm going to do the array destructuring thing. And instead of this, so most developers are very lazy, so that's why they do these things. ES6 concept again I'm going to do is the object destruction thing, and this I will make it like this. And now I'm going to show the list of posts after this. Okay, so first thing is that we should always do the what we said, validation whether the post is there coming or not, because this API call generally take 1 to 2 seconds. So first I have to check whether the post is there or not. So I'll do post and then and then post dot length So this will also check that whether the post has got some length. If it is there, then only it pass inside, and then I have to do the post dot map and post like div and post dot title do. And as we just I'm showing the title, as we have learned earlier, we have to give a key also. Key equal to, actually key always we have to give, because what happens in React, they you want it to be unique. So I'm getting the ID, so I will pass it as key. So this is how we do most of the. This is 100% of front end code, means this is only the thing which you need to know. Okay, so that is done, and see, all of my posts are being shown. All of my posts are being shown. So this is what the end work of the front end engineer. Most of the time, get API, the post API also is been done some of the time. So yeah, so this is how it is done. Okay, and hope you like this, and this completes our class-based components. Okay, so tomorrow we are going to do the functional component, and I hope everyone has entered your attendance. I can see only 4 people, so every day it is getting less, so it's good, means so now these 4 people only get the certificate. So this time I'm not going to do like this, that see, you don't attend one day you get the certificate. React.js certifications are very difficult to get. If I give you like this certificate that you attend one day and the other day you are doing, I don't know that you have was that or not. So previous I gave some certificate, like someone pinged me that I said I was not able to attend one day. Told them, okay, go and attend it on my channel, and I believed them and gave them the season JavaScript certificate. React.js certificates are not that much easy, because my reputation is also there. So I will not give going to give anybody React.js certificates if they don't fill the attendance form daily. I'm going to check it that all 5 days you are there, and then only the participation form only you will get. And as I've told, the people who have done that CSS and JavaScript, CSS or JavaScript bootcamp, they are eligible to get my 1.5 month long bootcamp, web app development bootcamp for free. And that I guarantee you that I will make you a React.js developer anyhow. It is there, means I will push you to the limit, and to I will make you a React.js developer. That is my promise. Means either you have to do it, or you have to means you have to leave it. And I will make you do it, that thing, anyhow possible. I will maybe, if you don't want to do it, you just run away. Some people are there who runs away, then you run away, and then you eliminate all the contacts with me. But that is like that. And I will make it possible that you become a React.js developer, and you will get that dream 25,000, 50,000 job. Means React.js intern only get 25,000 rupees. A good fresher with no knowledge of production project get 25,000 rupees. Because I am also hiring some freshers for my company. Maybe you can become that fresher. Okay, so it is like that. Instead of hiring from outside, I can hire from inside only, because I have a software company also. I'm not actively doing that, but we are taking projects. Okay, so that is there. And with this I will end today's stream. See you tomorrow. And tomorrow is everybody's favorite topic, which is a hook based React, which everybody loves hook based React. And I get question all the time, why should we learn class based React? But I have already explained that yesterday. Okay, so I'm not going to explain it today again, that why we should learn class based React. If you want to know, you can check out yesterday's videos. And let me check one more final time. Okay, I have got 4 responses. Okay, so okay, so with this I will end today's stream. I will see you all tomorrow again. Okay,